Microphone, microphone check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Microphone check. This is just a test. Working. When I looked away, a new screen. Fine, that's fine, totally normal. Everything is working. Everything is on. Everything is go. Do you eat flan? Don't know what it is, but I think it's pastry. Some kind of pancake, but I could be wrong, you see. What is the song that I'm singing to? I don't know. Oh, no, it's right there. I don't dare. Jesse's got some flan and I'm gonna make it mine. Jesse got some flan and I don't know what it is. And find my window. There we go. Make it full screen. Meow, meow, meow. So that I can see. Meow, meow, meow. My screen in front of me. Meow, meow, meow. Jesse's got a screen and I'm gonna make it mine. Cause I want 2 screens and I think that's just fine. Jesse doesn't know. Meow, meow, meow. How to connect a second screen. Meow, 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 meow. Alright, I think that's enough, Rips. Ripley? Meow, 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 meow. Yep, no, awesome background work there. You're great. You're fantastic. I think everything's go. So let's see if I accidentally moved anything while I wasn't paying attention. I didn't. The fruit fly that's just like just hanging out over there, and it's gonna make me crazy, of course, because everything does. But that's okay. That's okay. You just can't stop fruit flies. They just keep coming, like like the years in a I want to say a B-52 song, even though I know that that is wrong. You be the buddy ones told me the years they keep coming and they don't stop coming around. And then your finger and your thumb is in your thumb and bum and the shape of an L and your forehead. Yeah, Smash Mouth. Smash Mouth. Smash Mouth is the answer. Um, so anyway, this is I mean, this is how we do always start this. Yeah, no, it's like, hey, you got a plan? And then you're like, I'm gonna start this plan, and then we're gonna act out like some sort of little skit that you thought of, and then as soon as you hit that live button, you're just like, oh no, now people are looking at me. And what if Milo's video freezes for some reason? Don't know why that keeps happening. But there I go. Thankfully, that was while my mouth was covered up completely. So, none the wiser, basically. None the wiser. It's a little bit meta, but that's fine. That's fine. Hey, Space Goody. Hey, Space Goody. I said it first before you. Hey, hi, Space Goody as well. I'm here too. I'm here too. Eh? Me, Milo, and an intro. Why not do some intro time? Yeah, no, seriously. Let's break up this wonderful repartee that we've got going on and play the intro. So for the love of God, we can give people a 5-second break from this nonsense. And hi, I'm Mr. Cartoons. This is Milo, and of course, Ripley's behind the camera, running all the things. Oh, look at her, like the sweetest little angel, and her little generic iPad, and again, several employees in some sort of bunker in this apartment building somewhere, doing things. What are they doing? I don't know. Are you at Streamlabs right now, Ripley? Is that what's going on? Meow, 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 meow. Oh, okay, cool. So, yeah, say hi to Dominic for me. I guess. I don't know. That's cool. Is Corbin there? No, that's a different place. He works from home. All right. Anyway, that's the other camera. There we go. Oh snaps. I got a bunch of weird random notes as per usual to talk about, and I think to start things off, we'll start by ending last week's comic stream by throwing some words in here because I just didn't do it. I just didn't do it all week. 7 days, and yeah, I just did other things. I just did other things. Like what? Tell me what are the other things. List the things in order of what you did, starting with the thing that is the most dumb and weird, that makes the least amount of sense in any human being's life. Obviously, he's talking about Saturday, I think it was. It was kind of a 2-day deal, but oh, copy and paste, copy and paste. The way to get the right text is to copy and paste. Fragilities. 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 Fragile bees. Fragilities. Fragilities. Fragilitas. Fragilitas. Fragilities. Yeah, I'll say it every possible way. Or maybe it's frag. Fragilities. Fear fragilities, for you will be destroyed. On the battlefield today, we will win. I'm sure of it. What could possibly stop us? Oh no! It's Fragilities. He will frag us all. He is the frag master. Or she, or they. Why not say they? Yeah, why not just get used to saying they? Oh my god, what are you, 90? Kind of. Spleesh. I mean, I'm over here talking to imaginary cats. You know. Meow, etc. That don't do that. That's my thing. Also, Pat's here. You didn't even say hi to Pat. What is wrong with you today? Oh, hey Pat, it's me. It's me, Ted. Remember me from Bill and Ted But Cats on the Instagram? Hi, Pat. Pat, my voice. I can never remember this voice, bro. Yo, bro. Pat, bro. You wanna go surfing sometime when my mouth is open? Everybody, shut up. Everybody, shut up. Pat's over in this camera. All right, guys. So real quick. Hey, Pat. So that's not how you spell. You know what I should do? What I should always do is type out the text in a program, an application, if you will, that has spell check and will spell things for me. Because Flash, for some reason, doesn't do that. The only thing in the history of apps and programs that will not do any spell checking for you. There used to be at least you could highlight it and go like, "Could you check the spelling on this?" And be like, "Yeah, no problem, dog. No problem." Now you know for a fact, El Guapo, you know for a stone cold, solid gold, Steve Austin fact that if I still lived down the street from you and my lawnmower broke down, you would be the one that I'd be like, hey, what do I do about this? Fix this. Show me how to. Show me the way. And I think it's very. There's that fruit fly again. It's very solidly established. that I'm not the one who's good at fixing things, but also your field is pretty big. You should technically have some goats. I mean, it would just make more sense than cats and dogs at this point. No, I don't want no goats. Goats gon' float my boats. I'm just gonna mow my own lawn. So I found those waterfalls. I'm mixing songs. Anyway, what was story number one today? Oh yes. Do you know how I'm always like, hey guys, go to my Instagram or my Twitter and click on the links. So I've got all the links in my little Willow link, um, as provided by the fine people at Streamlabs. If you search for Willow link, you get your own little link thing, and it's awesome. Um, if you want to give me money, you can go to those links, and at the top, you can PayPal me just some money for no reason whatsoever. Just for awesomeness sake. That seems like a reason. Be more likely that they'd be like, "Oh, look at that hat. That is a great hat. You know what deserves the little tip of the buddy? Is the tip of that hat, and then that's why, and never ever for you." He's probably right. Hi, Olivia. Watching the progress bar go by here. That's fine. Um, so yeah, my links that I'm always harping on. Go click on the links. I got all the links. You can link to all the things with the links. And then one day on the weekend, I think I was like, why doesn't nobody click my links? How come everybody hates me and everything's stupid? Why don't I just go eat worms? And then this guy called Phil the Page on Twitter at Phil Phil the Page, who draws comics and stuff as well. Much better artist than me, clearly. He was like, hey, I just checked out your links and they don't work. And I'm like, I just checked my links the other day and they do work. And only the links that I checked, which I believe were just Twitter and Instagram, they worked, and none of the rest. So that was weird, or not weird, but odd that I missed that they were all spelled wrong, or just put in wrong. But the crazy thing to me is Phil the Page, is just like, saying the odd word that I know that's just like that's not an American or Canadian way to say things. That's British. That's English in some way. I'm like, wow, like out of all of the people, like a person I've never talked to, I don't know this person. I follow them. I believe they just started following me back. Um, that's just like, hey, by the way, just you heads up and a little helpful tidbit of information. Um, you're garbage and it doesn't work. Like, oh my god, like thank you so much. And like, you're like from all across the pond. Like you're from the other side of the world, and and you're being like an international hero right now to me, at least anyway. And I thought that was the coolest thing in the world. You know, makes the world a somewhat of a smaller place, helps us connect. Should make people go, hey, maybe I should get vaccinated and care. Cause we're all red green in this together. And that's a Canadian reference. Well, that show was also on PBS for 100 years. That was in America too. Yeah, yeah. Facts that nobody needs, nobody asked for. The other thing, before I look at my notes for the really crazy stuff, was I never thought that I would ever see outside of a Die Hard movie or Die Hard type movie, um, somebody in their car deciding, you know what? I'm going to assume their initial thought when they left the house was, I don't need vaccines and I don't need masks. This is all made up and everyone's just trying to slow me down. So when I get to the train tracks and those arms come down and it's, ding, 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 dinging, and a train is coming, and, most people wait, food in my mouth. Um, Most people wait because we've all seen TV shows, we've all seen movies, we've all seen PSAs, and we all know that you know when you least expect to get stuck on the train tracks, that's when it's going to happen, and it's almost always going to be when a train's coming. That's just a fact. And yeah, a bunch of people are just out there going, hey, who wants to play the home game of Final Destination? Everybody get in the car. We're going to go drive behind some lumber. But yeah, I went for a walk today because it's 10,000 degrees. And if I stop moving, I will fall asleep. So I'm like, I got to keep moving, got to keep doing something at the risk of just getting warmer and sweatier. It's just too hot, and I will retreat into nap land uh, if I don't do something. But I don't want to do anything because I'm about to do a stream, so trying to not overexert, not do a bunch of drawings before the stream, so I'm all drawn out before it even starts. So yeah, so I went for a walk, not too far, not for too long, but I could see the train tracks. And just didn't even, I never look, I never care, never think about anything when it comes to walking, half a block away from the train tracks. But I could clearly see this car just like what's happening right now? Is that car stuck in the train tracks? Am I watching a real life Final Destination? And no, it was just like weaving as best it could between the two big arms that are specifically there to very, very clearly remind you, don't try to drive through here right now. A train is coming. And I don't know. I saw it. I saw it. There's something about that that makes me feel, I don't know, crazy. Like, if you are going to try and jump the tracks in a car, I would think that not being seen would be the ideal. Like, if I saw you, then there's a possibility that you're the kind of person that just does stuff like that all the time. And I mean, the reason last week's comic strip is about this is because this is basically the conversation I pictured being had by the people who, when I went for a very short walk before last week's stream, were driving around, flipping people off, and yelling, F you! But whatever. That's not that mysterious, not that interesting, not that weird, really. People drive in weird ways all the time. Uh, you know, you gotta be careful of other people because a lot of people aren't being careful of you. It's just the way the world works. Anyway, last week's comic goes as such. Hey, let's drive around town. No. Why? No. I really want to hang out the passenger side of a best friend's ride and flip people off, like all the people. No, you're being a scrub. But I got the birds all ready to fly. Could open his mouth. Better idea. I'm just gonna follow you around the house, flipping you off. I'll probably change it before I post it to Instagram. I don't think that's a smash bang of an ending. But the rest of it I think does the job. It just has to end. Because the real punchline of this is, but I got the birds all ready to fly. I don't know if anybody's ever said that before, but I think it's genius. It's progress bar, all right. And in the title box, we will call this the birds. Wonderful. File is getting pretty big. That's like page 30 so far. It's about 30 pages. I forget, I think the last book was like 70 pages, so I've got another 40 to go before we can turn it into a book. Why 70? Because anything less seems ridiculous. Maybe it was 40 something? Don't remember now. Don't have one within arm's reach. Yeah, no. So there's that. So then, and then we copied this. So right title, and we'll text. Goodbye text, and get rid of the drawings. Goodbye drawings, and then we'll make some new rough sketches for today's comic strip. Roughing out a Milo shape. We're gonna put him on a stool. Cause that's what this one is about, but not really. And it's not about school. So, the mystery. No, not the mystery. Oh my god, how long have we been doing this? It's been like several minutes, and you did not tell the story that I teed you up to tell like 10 minutes ago when I said, hey, talk about that thing. And then you were like, oh, I went for a walk. And then you talked about the effing trade. And then I froze again. And I don't even care. I don't even care. Talk about something that's not the trade and do it right now. All right, jeez. So the other thing that's just everything this week has been weird. Not because the world is super weird, mostly because I am. But gotta say, that's the way you have to be. Not being weird is boring. I mean, this is already on my Instagram. I think it's on Twitter. It's already everywhere. But the verbal version of the story is, what was I doing? Whichever it was, Saturday, Sunday, I went for a walk around town, and it's always like as soon as I go for a walk, is when I have ideas for stuff to do or the motivation to do them, because I'm moving, blood is flowing, things are firing more as opposed to like when I'm sitting here I'm just like, ugh. It would be better than getting up and doing something, not doing something and taking a nap. Let's watch 5 episodes of a TV show I've already watched 5 episodes of this week on YouTube or Netflix or wherever. So, so I already have several things to work on. I got a drawing that I'm supposed to do for El Wapo that I haven't really done, other than try to do research to trying to figure out how to draw this thing that he needs or wants. So I'm trying to find some reference to it. It's like this scratched up old picture that or like illustration. That he's like, "Can you figure out what this is and redraw it?" I'm like, "I'll do my best just for the fun of it." And then I keep looking at it, going, "I don't know. I don't know if I can." Um, I'll do something. I just don't know if it will be what he enjoys. Um, and karate lessons, who we usually watch on or listen to on Saturdays here on Twitch at Karate Lessons. Supposed to do like a little drawing of her family that I got to get to. Haven't touched that at all. Like I should do one of those. Plus, I want to do some more Milo stuff and update the schedule screen on schedule banner where it says like every Tuesday we're live, and add every Tuesday and Thursday, and every Thursday I'm gonna play some games, whether I play them well or not, or if they're interesting. I don't care. I'm gonna make sure that I enjoy myself and have fun on a Thursday. Because whatever, video games are fun. Last Thursday we played some Mario 2 with Laser Sharks, and it was pretty fun. I had a good time, honestly. I both got not as far as I thought, and not very far at all. A few months ago I played it, and I was like, oh my god, I could totally destroy Mario 2 in one sitting. Like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And I got super far, levels that I don't remember seeing, but then I was like, oh, there's another warp around here. I was like, I remember this. I am the wizard. Um, so then I stopped because I was like, all right, I got a bunch of lives. I'm just like remembering stuff from like my childhood. Like this is great. I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna stream one of these days. And then I don't know, several months passed, and I don't remember how to play Mario 2 anymore. But I did a pretty good job. I think I did a pretty good job. Oh my god. Jesus H effing H on a cross and a crutch. That's still not the thing. That is still not the thing. I'm gonna freeze with anger over here. That is still not the thing that you were talking about. That I taught. I'll leave. I swear to F, I will leave and I will throw my hat in your face. And then I'll retrieve it because it's my favorite hat. Alright, calm down. Oh my god. Okay, so um aside from those projects and whatnot, went for a walk and thought, I'll come back and I will work on one of those projects because, I will be went for a walk motivated, and I was like, pretty convinced in my head, like that's what's gonna happen. So I started walking, headphones on, and don't remember which song, but some Queen song came on in the rotation, and I was like, oh yeah, huh, I wonder. I wonder. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, went to one of those like educational stores in the mall. It's like, hey, it's stuff for teachers, but they also have like one rack of puppets, and I feel like they're mostly kind of like educationally type puppets, and they look dumb. And I don't know. This way, it must have been on crazy sale or something. I don't know why. I never used it for everything. Um, oh, we'll get to Mario 3 again. Uh, but it was kind of this knight type character. I don't think I realized until I got it home. I was like, oh, this is a conquistador. I don't know enough about anything, but this is definitely a conquistador puppet. He had like a little goatee, a little sideburns, and a helmet, and then no hair because the helmet covered it up. But you could remove the helmet, and probably why I got it because it had like some removable assets, and I'm somewhat obsessed with things that have removable assets, uh, action figure wise and whatnot. So somewhere, I started having one of those, the argument with your brain of, I should do blank, and then your brain is like, but it'll probably only take like what 10-15 minutes for you to like dig through that bin where I think there's some puppets and or board games and possibly material to maybe someday make other puppets. What? Why not dig through it? Take a look because I think that that conquistador puppet with some slight modifications could very easily become a Freddie Mercury puppet, and then all I really have to do is make a little what's that name of the shirt when you don't call it a wife beater? A tank top, a white tank top like Freddie Mercury always has in all of the pictures. Hat. And by the time I got home again and got back into the apartment, and it was 1,000 degrees, and I didn't care about anything again, was like, oh yeah, no, that's stupid. What I'm going to do instead is try out the iPad with the iPencil again, because I even though I draw on this tablet all the time, like drawing on an iPad is still a little bit crazy to me. So I'm like, let's have some fun with it. And the last time I tried, I just started doodling, and I started with an eye and built out in the weirdest, dumbest way possible. But I do that sometimes when I draw. And one of the replies, one of the posts on it was Tara, was Moxie Fox saying, you know, like, oh my god, like, what do you do with that like Canadian home art test from our childhood, like from there used to be this commercial. It was like, do you think you could draw? Well, maybe you should give this to your child, or you should take it. It's the home drawing test. And I guess it was also like a contest, but you would do it and apparently send it in. I never got one. I never found one. I don't know where. I believe you had to like just write, and they would send it to you or call, and they would send it to you in the mail. And I'm pretty sure as a child, anything that involved sending away in the mail was just like, no, we're not doing that. That's a scam. Like, all right, cool. Everything's a scam. Trust no one ever. So I didn't even realize it was real. But it would come up and it would show like this pirate and a turtle and a little bear. And I posted it on my Instagram as well, and uh, uh, Twitter, Facebook, all the places. Because iPad drawing, it records the drawing process. So I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. So I'm gonna just draw this up and post it. And it was fun. And that's always the way, Pat. Like, there's so many stories of I can't remember his name, but there's this horrible person, Jeremy Clarkson, I think his name is, from like the driving show, the British "We're gonna drive cars and be jerks" or whatever show. And he's just kind of an awful person. You know, he's popped up on some of the panel shows every once in a while that I watch all the time. It's just like, oh wow, you're a bit of a monster. But I saw a little meme or whatever there today where he was like, yep, he's like, a bunch of your teachers are going to tell you you're not good at this, and you're stupid, and you're ugly, and you'll never be anything. He's just like, they all told me that. And it was like, my grades were this bad. And guess what? Doesn't matter. I'm still happy and rich and doing all the things, and I own whatever name of some fancy car, Rolls Royce or whatever. Um, I'm just like, ah, I hate you. I do hate you. But that's still some good, solid advice. Like, yep, even if you are a jerk, even if you're a horrible person, you could run a country, or at least still, follow your dreams. Just don't listen to the jerks in between. Anything is possible. Mostly everything is possible. Um, so so that's what I did. So um, uh, um, I didn't dig through the bin. I didn't find the puppet. I didn't make any reels with a Freddie Mercury puppet. And then Sunday rolls around, and I'm just beyond tired. And I don't know, maybe it's because I got my second shot. Maybe it's because it's 50,000 degrees out, and I'm just like, I don't have the energy to do anything today. But if I don't get up and move, then I won't eat because I'm just going to nap until it's time to go to bed. It's so hot. So I got up and I went, hey, this is my camera. Now I'm talking. I'm the one who's the star of the thing. Ripley knows who the camera should be on. I'm here and you should be gone because everything is coming up my low. Take that Millhouse, everything is coming up my low. Meow, 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 meow. You should be sorry, Ripley. You should be sorry. Um, so I went for a walk and legitimately, like within 20 feet of the apartment, I was fully like, it'll only take me like a few minutes to find that puppet, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't require much, except definitely the beard has to come off. I don't think it's glued on. I'm gonna have to get a seam ripper. If the dollar store is open and I can get a seam ripper, then maybe I'll do this. I'll get some extra felt just in case, because I'm not sure if I have any black felt left. So I went for a walk, was pretty sure that the dollar store was going to be closed. No, this was last night. Sunday, I didn't do anything at all. Monday night, I was like, I'm going for a walk. And then, yeah, I looked at my phone and was like, is the dollar store open now? And the internet was like, no, everything closes at 2 o'clock in the afternoon now. Pandemic. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's open normal hours now. Like, no. Stop thinking positive things. I was like, well, whatever, fine. I don't need to modify a puppet. I have 100 other things I could do. Then the dollar store was open. So I got a seam ripper. And I got a silver pen so I could modify Batman's guitar because it's just all red and it should have some metal parts. And then I'll restop motion Batman playing guitar because I got black metal Batman or death metal Batman just for the purposes of stop motioning him with his guitar. But it needs some silver paint. So I got a silver paint marker and I was like, well, that's another project that I'm leaning towards because that's what I do. Just keep giving myself stuff to do. Yeah, I got some more felt. And at the dollar store, there's just this like 4 foot part of the wall that is just like these doll outfits. And there's like 20 of each doll outfit, and then these weird looking like fashion dolls that I don't know what they're a bootleg of, if they're supposed to be like American Girl dolls or one of those things. I don't know enough about the doll world, but they're like, these little people that just, they don't look super realistic. They look still dead-eyed and creepy, and they do look cheap, but they were, it's a great Canadian dollar store, so it's not like everything here's $1. It's also some things are $40, so buyer beware. Look around. It's still only worth $1, but check it out. But occasionally they have some weird leftover stuff, like they had some Ninja Turtle figures, which were from the last animated series, and I'm like, sorry, the animation in that was amazing. It looks great. Love all the people who do the voices, but I don't enjoy these designs. So anyway, that's the first time I really got a look at Splinter, and I was like, oh, that's what Splinter looks like in this show? I would have hated this. I'm glad I didn't watch it. But again, I'm a million years old. So, I'm digging through. I'm a full-blown adult digging through these doll outfits, trying to see, because one, oh, these are like the exact right size for the puppet. Even though I haven't laid eyes on this puppet in a long, 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 long time, I'm pretty sure these are the exact right size, or at least close enough. And none of them were, white tank tops. None of them were even like t-shirts that I could modify. I was just like, ugh, I don't know. But there was this one trench coat that looked like it had a white shirt underneath it, and I'm like, that might just be it. It was like in a plastic bag that was sealed, so I couldn't quite see. But I'm like, well, whatever. Dollar store, dolls, clothes. Take a chance. I'll take a chance. What do I care? What do I care? So I grabbed this trench coat, which made it even more creepy, because it's like, hey, what do you got there, creep? Oh, instead of being a creep creeping around in a trench coat, I'm buying a tiny little doll's trench coat. So anybody want to look at me? Anybody want to treat me like a maniac? Because I'm definitely being a maniac. But I was out at a place called The World, and everyone else is already maniacing around. Everybody's maniacing around. So, while I was in line, somebody was ahead of me paying, and, you better believe they put on their dirtiest pajamas and slippers to go to the dollar store and buy something, because there always is. And next to her was this other guy with an armload of stuff. Which is odd, because I'm like, I feel like I've told this story before, but this is a new version of that story. But now that I'm saying it, was like, was this the same guy? Is this the Matrix? Am I reliving episodes that have been pre-written for me again and again? Because it would make sense. Or just people's lives just keep repeating because we're all kind of, boring and dumb. Me included. Mostly you. Yeah, mostly you. I'm awesome, and yeah, you're boring and derivative. Irony? Isn't it ironic, don't you think? You're the most derivative. Yeah, but where does that derivative come from? Touche. Touche indeed. So, this guy was waiting for his balloons to be inflated with helium. He got a bunch of balloons. And then the ladies inflating the balloons were like, hey, so anyway, um, something, something, something like about your kid. And he was like, what? Oh, no. She's like, she's like turning 3. And they were like, oh, this one says happy birthday, 17-year-old. And he was like, oh, I didn't notice that. And then they just kept listing all the different inappropriate balloons that he had gotten. And he was just like, close enough. Like, all right, cool. This is definitely going to be an awesome birthday. I mean, the kid's like 3 or whatever, so it's not going to know or care. And, and whatever. So they give him a bunch of balloons. I don't know, like 7 or 8 inflatable helium balloons. And this is the maniac part. Is this when he was going to leave? You know, because now we've got every places. This is the indoor. This is the outdoor, and we're never going to cross those barriers. Even though I watched several people cross those barriers within a 5-minute time span. Um, so before he left, the people behind the counter that gave him the balloons were like, "Oh, hey, it'll probably be, it'll probably be easier for you to get out with all of those balloons if you go out the indoor instead of the outdoor. I think it'll be much easier for you. So yeah, if you take, 8 steps to the right and go out the indoor, we believe that it'll be much easier." And as they're saying this, I'm looking at the outdoor, I'm looking at the indoor, I'm looking at the outdoor, I'm comparing the height, I'm comparing the width, I'm comparing everything as fast as humanly possible. Just making a bunch of Sherlock Holmes calculations that the result of which I can only come up with is, what's the difference? What's the difference? I don't understand the difference, and I desperately want to be like, excuse me. I very much want to know, why are you telling him that it will be easier for him to go out the indoor when there's no differences other than, do they both no, they both open out. They both open out. I was thinking the indoor opens in, so that's actually making it harder, but they both open out. So there's no difference other than, he to go out the indoor, he would technically have to weave around me and some other people that were coming in. So it's definitely not easier. And he was like, no, that's fine. My van is actually right by this door, so I'm just going to go out this door and get in my van. I'm just going to do that. And they were still like, oh, we think it'll be easier to go the other way. But that's fine. We'll just do whatever you want. He's like, I'm just going to keep walking this way. And they were like, all right, but that door, like, okay, like, I'm doing it. It seems to be working. And as I watched him get out that door, I just had 1,000 more questions, because he was gone, and they were still like, 1, I hope he doesn't lose any of those balloons. 2, I still think the other door would have been easier. And I just was still so confused that I just didn't have the wherewithal to say, but why though? But why though? Though, but why unto that door beeth easier? Questioneth mark. Like, I just couldn't. It was just so confusing. And then the other thing that distracted me was, once he was gone, they were going through the list of balloons that they were like, I think he just didn't notice that. Yeah, I was like, well, what about that Batman? He said it was like just for a little girl. It was like, with that Batman balloon? He was like, oh, yeah, he knew the Batman balloon was in there as well. He said that's because he likes Batman? Okay. Gonna be a great birthday party. If you do have a wife, she is going to be mad when you get home. Um, that's just how I see the world. Cause how much can I judge when I know for a fact that I'm standing there with some felt and a seam ripper and a doll's trench coat, and then I'm going to go home. I'm going to remove a goatee from a puppet, and I'm going to add hair to it, and I'm going to extend its mustache into a Freddie Mercuryian style mustache, and then I'm going to add some teeth, some big old teeth, and then I'm going to go into my reels. I'm going to pick a song, and then I'm going to swing this puppet all around the apartment as he lip syncs to that song. That's what I'm gonna do. And then I did. And then I did. And then I modified him slightly more. I did a little more felting to solidify his mustache and to do the teeth a little better. And yeah, then I jammed a stick in his arm because I can't find the old stick from the original Conquistador. And this shirt, no modification. Where's the? Oh, I should have put him up. Can I do this with my other hand? I don't even know. This feels weird. This feels weird. So yeah, I've got to break free. A bit of mustaching. Just felted a pile of felt fabric onto the top of his head. I feel like it only looks really good when the teeth are showing. And yeah, that's just how the shirt came. I was like, oh wow, it's already got no sleeves. Perfect. I don't have to cut the sleeves, and the collar works real good for the neck of it all. And I have no idea what Freddie Mercury sounds like, talking wise. So I do not have a Freddie Mercury voice. There's a little stick. When I tried to brush out where is the seam there, and on the head a little bit, and then try to smooth out some of those seams, because it is just a pretty standard, like I said, just educational store puppet. Not that bad. Not do. Wait, no. Da 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 da. It's the power of knowing what this world is about. Watching a good friend scream, let me out. Where's the other camera? Tomorrow is something else. That's what I did. That's what I did. What do you do with your time? Oh man. I played some Mario 2 and I drew some stuff from the past with structure and roughs. And then I made a puppet. That you can call the queen. He's got some crazy teeth, but I'm not trying to be mean. They're just big crazy teeth. They're just big crazy teeth. Finally. Oh my god, that only took what? An hour and a half for you to tell that thing that I told you to say an hour and a half ago? You're the worst. You're the worst. How is it you even have a stream at all? Why is the Twitch calling you thing? Excuse me, sir. You can't do this anymore. Hey, FBLive, why are you sharing these streams? It's a travesty. I mean, if not just for me, then I mean that I understand. But for this guy, come on. I'm also here. I'm at a dance club. I've got reports. I'm live on location. Maybe Streamlabs loves me. Where's Rachel Dawes? Again with the Rachel. Stop it. Stop it. There's going to be a new Batman eventually. We'll find out what the Robert Pattinson voice is, or I'll get a Ben Affleck machine to sound like the Ben Affleck Batman. Oh man, too many characters. Too many characters. There's never too many, man. It's all about sharing. Sharing the stream. Sharing as a team. Teamwork makes those dream works, bro. Except when you're surfing. You should probably just surf on your own, but have somebody there in case you start to drown, bro. Thanks, Ted. Thanks. You're an angel. He's really on the wall. He's really on the wall. Ben Affleck machine. When you want to sound real mean. I'm not gonna hurt myself by doing a Christian Bale voice for this feed. Did I already say feed? A Ben Affleck machine. Cause everybody knows. Teddy Bear all snaps. Did I? Did you just say Teddy Bear? Did I reference Teddy Bear? Sometimes I mumble words and I don't even know what I said. Just flowing out of my big old stupid head. Or are you talking about the teddy bear puppet who is in the other room? Because him I made a long time ago. I say made at a Frenchie's, I believe. At some sort of second-handed store. I'm pretty sure at the time I was looking for eyeballs. There have been several times, oh, Ted, as in teddy bear. Don't know why I couldn't figure that one out. That makes so much sense. So much sense. But yeah, there's also a bear puppet. He's got a reel. I've done some stuff with him before. I think he was usually just called British Bear, and he usually has a British accent. But it was a Kylie Minogue. He does a little bit of that song. That Saturday night, and the gym is really pumping. Pretty baby. He's awesome. I don't know. Like I love that puppet. It's definitely not a real puppet, but it was a I don't know what it was. Kind of a bootleg Ruxpin, I think. Where I can't remember how it worked, but like it didn't quite have full mechanics in the mouth, but it had something where you could press some kind of button or something, and the mouth did something. But I genuinely can't remember. And it had like a box in the back that played some kind of sound. I guess it was it was pretty old. I think it cost me 50 to 75 cents. And I either thought on the day when I got it that, oh, I'm just going to gut this thing and turn it into a puppet because the mouth already has an opening inside of the head. I've just got to clean out some of the head first. As you do. Yeah, no, that sounds totally normal. I just got to buy a thing and then clean the head out a little bit and to make room for my hand. Just make a puppet hole from top to bottom. Nothing weird there. Then I'll go buy some more little clothes for it. And yeah, and I did. I got him a little tie. I got him a little glasses. And for a while, I had a Batman mask, and he would also be Batman Bear with a British accent, and that was fun. But the mask may still be in my old house in Miramichi, or I did remember to get it within the last 5 years, and have forgotten where I put it because it was not in the bin with the other puppets. Yeah, I pulled out whatever mechanisms were inside of him. I sewed up. Oh yes, he did. He had some kind of little hole in the back of his head, so I sewed that up, and then where the mechanics go through, seventh dementia, follow from the seventh dementia, dementia. And then yeah, made a new hole, took it out a whole new door, Joker style, so that I could put my hand up inside him. But I just think I think he's adorable. I think he's adorable. And sometimes, every once in a while, I will accommodate requests. And I'm gonna go grab him. He's just outside this door right here. And yeah, we'll take a look at him. I'm gonna copy and paste this to the right place first, cause obsessive compulsive behavior. You gotta do it all the way to the end, or else your brain goes crazy. Up off some of these legs here. Do da do ba da ba da ba. Ripley, Ripley, meow, 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 meow. Yeah. Shut up. Blink for a minute while I go get a bear. Thanks, Rips. You're the sweetest angel. With candy and stuff on top. Boom. All right. So this is the bear. So this is his back. So that's where all the stuff would go. And then there was a hole for your hand and stuff to go there. And that's gone. And when I say sewed, I can tell by feeling it right now. That was a lie, and it was gallons of hot glue it closed. Because that's what I do. Just barely enough room. There is still some like metal in there in the mouth. I don't know what that's for. Some kind of magnets or something. I mean, they're not magnets, but some kind of metal. I added a little bit of color here and there. I'd still kind of like to give him some different eyes, maybe. Once again, if I slide over this way, here we go. A little tie. They got a little stick. Almost adjust his glasses. I think he just moves really, really good. One of these days, I will get an actual sewing machine, I think. But yeah, so far, hot glue is the answer to everything. What was his voice? I can't remember now. It's been so long. It's been so long. Oh my god. I need to. Oh yeah. I'm trying to move my tablet, but that's not what's in the way. That's on the actual screen. What if we go over to this camera? Oh, here we go. Nope, that's not it. Miles is seventh dementia. I should have remembered that name. That's not a new name. Holy snaps! Hello. Got a gravelly voice. I can't remember. Oh, my little tie. That sounds offensive. That's not. I feel like it was better. My glasses. Yep. I can't remember. Serious bear news. Did I hear the news? Things are happening and we're all serious. Can I do ventriloquist stuff? As a kid, I definitely used to try and practice to do ventriloquism for sure. Never got good. Never tried that much. But I guess that's what we're doing right now. Yeah, that's apparently what we're doing. I mean, I'm over here. You only have 35 characters to choose from. But no, that's fine. Let's play with a bear puppet instead. Yeah, that makes all the sense. Yeah, no. Let's not talk to Ripley anymore and replace him with this stupid bear. Oh my god, how many things do we need to replace me? Guys, Milo, man, I told you I'm not here to replace. I'm just here to be friends. Friends and surf buddies. Let's go surfing now, everybody. Surf in the USA, bro. No, not ever. Oh my god, I hate you so much. And something about buttons. So many characters. Can I talk to the bear? No. Replace you with Merman one of these days. Anyway, that's all for me. Yeah, ventriloquism. I don't remember how. Hello. Are you there? Oh, your mouth is moving quite a bit, isn't it? And it's It's hot in there. That's like I said before, another way I spend my time. Oh man. Miles in the seventh dementia playing Jackbox games. He knows all the trivia, 'cause he knows all the characters from MASH, and he knows their last names. I was Miles' teacher for a little bit, a long time ago. uh, good times. Good times. Okay, back in my notes. Back in my notes. Things that I saw. Things that I saw while I walked around in the world. I went to the park. Went to the park one day, walking through the park. Everything's fine. Everything's normal. And there's just like a bunch of people doing like CrossFit, the big ropes, flipping tires. Like, huh, big day at the park. Lots of people in here doing a bunch of stuff. That's fine. But then there was a guy getting other stuff in or out of the back of his hatchback that I'm just like, I have no idea what I'm looking at. Very tempted to be like, excuse me, sir, what am I looking at right now? Are you going to war in the park today? Are these weapons? I feel like these are parts to weapons. What are you wearing? Why am I so confused right now? But I kept walking because, you know, I'm not going to stare at somebody just because they're wearing something that I have questions about. And, I don't know, 20 feet past that guy, there was a picnic table, taken over by a handful of people. And most of them were wearing, like, medieval garb. Like, you know, those, like, robes, some real-ish armor. And there were some big, big shields, like those big old-timey, like, yeah, we're going to line up all of our 6-foot-tall shields and stop the guys with spears on horses. And then there was like spears, and that's what at first I was like larpers, but then they like they didn't have the foam swords like from the old days of the studio where Pat and probably you would have foam sword and axe battles at Melanie's house or whatever in the yard or something. But yeah, I think it was they were gonna do a bunch of mock something or other, because they had full on like broadswords, like giant metal broadswords, like a handful of them lined up, shields, helmets, like tons of stuff. And it was a hot day, and they were just kind of chilling out. So as I was leaving, it seemed like they were starting to get ready. I thought they were done and going, and I'm like, ah, should I take another lap around the park just so I can see what happens here? Because there's like a bunch of knights here ready to do something, and I've never just happened upon a bunch of medieval, you know, knights ready to have an adventure in the park. They seemed, you know, 100% harmless. So it's like I don't think anyone's going to take a broadsword to me. So this might be a good adventure. But it's hot and I'm hungry, so I kept going. Thinking about modifying puppets. Yeah, so it was probably more of a like medieval times type of thing. Like we'll do some of the sword actions and whatnot, but we're definitely not like trying to you know, take limbs, if you will, like you do with LARPing fights. What I didn't know was a thing at all was, and this is movie news. We're gonna jump over to movie news. All right, I'll do the movie news theme song. Movie news, it moves you, it blues you. Everyone goes with the gooey news. It's the news of the movies. They're talking pictures and everything. Something frozen poos. That's awful. That was the worst, and no. Um, but yeah, I had no idea, zero idea. Didn't hear word one about the making of a movie I think is simply called Jungle Cruise. That, much like the Pirates of the Caribbean and the Haunted Mansion and whatever the other one was, um, they made a movie based on the Jungle Cruise. Now, I would think that's actually not a bad idea. The Haunted Mansion seems like that should be kind of a good idea as well, but, you can only get so haunted in a kid's movie, and I'm pretty sure I think I watched it or didn't make it through it. It was dumb. Now, nothing against it. I'm sure it's probably a super fun movie. Super duper fun. Uh, just about as fun as Pirates of the Caribbean. Why? Because it's the same script as Pirates of the Caribbean. Within the same moments of finding out, like, that's a movie, and then within the same video saying, like, hey, they made this movie, and I'm like, oh wow, that's crazy. I wonder how well that's gonna do. Not only um, is it like you don't have to wonder how well this is going to do, it's already out and it's doing great. How is that possible? Where have I been? I don't see a lot of things, but I still think I see and hear enough things that I'm not gonna miss a Dwayne the Rock Johnson as Jack Sparrow in the Jungle Cruise ride for whatever reason. But yeah, the movie is still about, spoiler alert, the movie is about the exact same thing as the first Pirates of the Caribbean. There's a bunch of cursed people on a different kind of boat than a pirate ship. They're dead, and turns out Dwayne is also cursed just like them, just like Jack Sparrow, and that's how they survive or whatever. There's I forget what else, but all the other same stuff from Pirates of the Caribbean basically happens. And I'm just like, wow. I mean, yeah, of course you would, though, right? Like, if you've got a formula that does kind of work, then why not do it? Like, the Pirates movies make billions of dollars, so just make another one with, different skins swapped in, different textures. Video games do it all the time. There's so many games that are just like, this is that same game that this company already made. They just changed all the things visually. So I mean, realistically, if you hadn't have listened to me or you hadn't have seen whatever it was that I watched that told me that it was the same movie, um, you probably would have been surprised. Like, oh wow, he's also cursed like that thing. Like, in the world of derivativeness, everything is still derivative. There's only so many stories to tell. So so again, I'm not complaining. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. But that's my movie news. That's what I learned about movies this week. I still want to see Suicide Squad. My only beef with that so far is that it's still called the Suicide Squad. They just added the. I mean, it clearly is the Suicide Squad compared to the other one, but I almost wish it was just called Good Hank Suicide Squad, which, I'm sure Miles will get that reference to King of the Hill when they had a new Hank's dad had a new kid, and he named that kid Good Hank, and that was the funniest thing that has ever happened in television ever. And I think that yeah, the new Suicide Squad should have been called the Good Hank Suicide Squad, or just the Good Suicide Squad, which is kind of presumptuous. I think we should just be able to retroactively um, go rename the other one Bad Movie 2016 or whatever it came out. Like just do that because it was bad. It was an irritating, hard movie to watch that, made no sense, especially if, like me, you were coming into it right after the first animated Suicide Squad. So good, so good, and most of it made sense as to the reasons why it happened. And then the first Suicide Squad, the movie, is just like, why any of this? Nothing you're saying or doing makes any sense. You're all the worst. You're all terrible, and Will Smith is definitely not coming back for more of this. Ben Affleck is definitely mad at all of you for wasting his Ben Affleck machine on this movie. But the new one, oh, looks so much fun. Laser Shark saw it today, and she said it was great. I just realized the other day that King Shark is played by Steve Agee. And then I saw a Steve Agee blurb where he's like, yeah, I'll definitely come back for the second one. Even though my voice is replaced with Sylvester Stallone, I'd still want to be in that King Shark suit thing walking around. And I'm like, what? I I just realized it was Steve Agee. I only had 2 days of, I really want to see this now. I love Steve Agee. I don't love, what's his name? Sylvester Stallone. I'm sure that voice fits real good for it. But yeah, man, like that movie's like all comedians and stuff. And John Cena, I think that's who it is. Still think he's weird as a person to put in movies, but it looks fun. It just looks fun and so much more inviting than the other one. Not an intentional rhyme. Uh, one more panel. So, Jungle Cruise. Armored People at the Park. Idris Elba, other movie news. Idris Elba texted. Idris Elba texted me today. No, he didn't. Idris Elba will never ever text you. Someday he might text me. No, not in a million bajillion years. Idris Elba does not like you. He doesn't. He will never like you. You're stupid, and Idris Elba is the coolest in the world, and there's no possible reason. Idris Elba might text me. Idris Elba might text the Batman. That's the thing that might happen, but not you. That's just something you'll have to deal with and live with. Once again, he's not wrong. Um, Idris Elba tweeted that it just tweeted knock knock and a picture of Knuckles' Knuckles from the new Sonic the Hedgehog movie. So Idris Elba is going to be Knuckles, and some people are upset about that. I clicked on the Idris Elba tweet, and like the second comment on it was like, ugh. Like, why would you do this? Like, you're so much better than this. Like, you're like an award-winning actor. Why would you? And somebody's response was like, yeah, how dare he be in a blockbuster movie? How dare this famous actor be in a movie? What's wrong with you? And I'm like, oh, good. I don't read any more of these. This is stupid. Cause I don't care. Like the only reason I kind of wanted to see the gunslinger was, oh, cool. Idris Elba makes everything super cool, but I have no interest in seeing the gunslinger. I know that I will just be confused. I didn't read any of those books and saw none of the reviews that were good. And I already loved the first Sonic movie. Um, Oh, that's true. That's true. Again, one of the few reasons I kind of was like, should I watch the Emoji Movie? Was because of the voices. I loved all the voices, but it was clearly a just nonsense, painful slog to get through, and I'm just like, I'm not gonna watch this cliche fest. So I did it. I'm an adult. I don't have to watch all the animated movies anymore. Um, gonna cheat on the last panel. At her mouth. There we go. So sad. Because yeah, like again, I've said it 1,000 times. Like Ben Schwartz is my favorite. Please, Ben Schwartz. I'm gonna use Pat's camera for a minute, Ben. If you can join me over there, because I know you're watching. I don't know you're one of the top 5 over here. Dear Ben Schwartz, please don't become a pervert. Please don't Cosby anybody. Don't fraud the government. Don't do anything that ruins everything. Please and thank you. You're the greatest. You're the greatest and my favorite. Oh my God. Please. Just about every Ben Schwartz post, tweet, Instagramification, there's almost always a comment that's just like, "Hey, no seriously. So what's the deal with you and Middleditch now? So Middleditch, huh? You still friends with Middleditch? If you don't come out against Middleditch, you're just as bad as Middleditch or whatever." It's just like they are two very different people. They did improv together, but they are very, very different people. Like when they're both on a podcast together or something like that, you can very clearly see, like, yep, they improv together real well. But Middleditch is totally like, anyway, I'm gonna do a bunch of weird drugs now and go to sex parties. And Ben Schwartz is like, cool, I'm gonna play some classic Nintendo games until I beat them. And watch some old comedy movies. So whatever. Hopefully he won't ever break my heart. Oh man. But yeah, his voice, so good. He's just the perfect Sonic. Perfect Sonic. Way better than Jaleel White. No offense. Jaleel White did a surprisingly great job at, Sonicking the Hedgehog. Jim Carrey, I assume he'll be back as Robotnik or Dr. Eggman, depending on who's writing it. But same deal, I thought, like, this is going to be insane. Why would they get him? And he was amazing. Now, of course, the movie is still, there's not really a whole lot to it. Within the first few minutes of the conflict occurring, Sonic easily proves you could do this on your own. You just went across the country and back. Why don't you just go do the thing? You do not need James Marsden. Yeah, the Serious Sonic series was amazing. I was really disappointed. Like, I remember it kind of ended with like the big kind of war happening, and wanting to see more, and then it stopped after that. But it was a pretty dark, crazy story. I read a bunch of the comics back then. Oddly enough, artwork didn't compare, even though it was very similar to the show. But anyway, first one was great. It was basically an extended version of the Quicksilver scenes. It's just everything you loved about Quicksilver from the X-Men movies. We just made that into a movie with a little CG hedgehog. Is he as adorable as Quicksilver? No. Quicksilver is just so charming, so endearing. If he had his own movie, it would probably get old fast. But Evan Peters, is that his name? Don't know why I know that name. But yeah, still, whenever YouTube is like, hey, it's been a while since you watched any of the Quicksilver scenes, you want to watch any of those again? And 99% of the time I say yes. Yes, YouTube, let's play this again. Whoever's posting it, take the ad money. You've earned it, because these are the greatest scenes in the history of movies. And then Sonic is just all of those scenes again and again and again for a whole movie. And I should be like, there should be more to this. But no, there shouldn't. Because, the example of there should be more to this is the best example, I should say, is of course Pacific Underground. Nope. Nope, just that's the word that Miles just said. Pacific Rim. There we go. Pacific Rim and the Godzilla movies should have been much simpler. Robots fighting monsters. The end, once you add a bunch of backstory, everything else seems ridiculous and wrong and unnecessary. Point your guns and your lasers at the void where the monsters come through. Don't take the time to walk out there. Just be there, be set up all the time. You already know that walls don't work. Stop building those walls. This is stupid. I hate this. I can't believe they made 3 of these. I can't believe the second and third one didn't get better than the first one after you could clearly see. This is stupid. This is stupid. Why? Why is Charlie here being Charlie from Sunny in Philadelphia? What a disappointment. What a disappointment. And in Sonic, I like to think they kept it relatively simple. Here are the people. Here's the people I trust. Here's a bunch of fun stuff. Here's Adam Pally being a wacky police guy that we can cut back to every once in a while. Oh, how do you not enjoy this? Where is your heart? Now, of course, the second time I went to watch it, I was like, well, I'm not sitting around watching all of this. This is annoying and for children. So I just skipped through to all of the fast motion parts, or the slow motion, fast motion, quicksilvering parts, like I do when I watch the X-Men. X-Men? The X-Men again. Excuse me, sir. Do you have trouble with some mutants? Well, we're the eczema men. We'll clear them out of here right away. We just walk around scratching at our eczema, and people are like, no thanks. We're gonna go be bad guys elsewhere. The eczema men. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, man. Alright, as I clean this up, I know I have at least one mystery. Puppet Thoughts. Guy weaving around. Oh, there's an episode, I want to say it's like episode 5 of season 2 on YouTube of Taskmaster New Zealand. Now I want to go and find the rest of the Taskmaster New Zealand episodes because they are great. Oh my god, the one episode that I watched, this is mostly just for Space Goonie and Pat, episode 5, season 2, YouTube was like, you'll probably like this. So good. It's like a whole episode where everyone's Rose Matafeo, and I know that I love the just the New Zealand accent in general. I just love it. I can just listen to New Zealand people talk for days, Australian people talk for days. It's just the best. And they are all just really funny and interesting. It's very much, I've tried to watch some other ones where it's like translated and whatnot, and I'm just like, I can't get into this. But yeah, that one episode from beginning to end, I'm just like, can't stop, won't stop. Why is Nick suggesting more episodes? Don't make me go hunt these down. Which one is season 9, the Rose Matafeo season? I think I just watched the last episode of that the other day, and but I was drawing, so I was like, ooh, the less I pay attention, that means I get to watch this again later today, maybe, or the next day, which I do often. I mostly just watch Taskmaster. But yeah, the New Zealand episode was great. Didn't have to rely on subtitles like I did with the German or whatever it was that I was trying to watch. Still interesting and fun. It's so amazing. They still have the caravan. They still match it all up pretty well. And it's really funny. Really funny. But that's enough. That's all the TV. That's all the TV. In the real world, in my world, I'm not going to go too far today. I don't want to have a bunch of interactions with maniacs. I don't want to have a crazy adventure. I just want to go to the farmer's market, get some kale and some other vegetables, and then maybe just walk around town until it's too hot to walk around town. Just listening to some music, having ideas. Maybe play a little da na 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 on the public xylophone that's down by the library, and then scrub my hands down with hand sanitizer 16 times. Because pandemic's not over yet, everybody. Calm down. Stop going everywhere and doing everything. Sarah. Sorry, I should say it like this. Wait, that's not my job. Sarah, stop with all the things. The labyrinth of pandemicing. It's still here. I'm wearing a mask. Huh? Get it? No, it's not a joke. Oh my god, that guy? What? Why not me? Why not me? Yeah, I finally got my second shot. But yeah, I didn't even get far. I didn't get far at all. I see the meme every once in a while on Introverts Are Us, the very few Facebook pages that I follow, where it pops up all the time, where it says like, hey, you know, something about like, oh, when you can hear your neighbors in the hallway, but you're about to leave your apartment, so you just kind of wait till they're done so you don't have to run into your neighbors. But I was already like halfway out the door, and I didn't realize like everybody on my floor was out, and like, oh, for the love of fun. Okay, what's going on out here now? This is clearly a bit of an adventure that I wasn't counting on. So I walk out, and the drunk guy from the other end of the hallway is like, hey, do you know anything about this? What's going on? What about you? I know it wasn't you, and I know it wasn't you, but I'm gonna clean it up. And I'm just like, who cares? Just clean it up or don't. I don't care. Whatever it is, just do it. You don't need to survey everybody. And whoever did it isn't gonna say that they did it. And it doesn't matter. You're already saying, like, I know it wasn't you. You're good people. So I walk out, and as they're saying, you know, whatever, he's got a broom, and he's like, don't worry. He's like, I'm going to clean it up anyway. I'm just like, you know, does anybody know where this came from? And the lady across the hall, she came out just before I did, and she was like, oh my, like, well, it wasn't me. I don't know, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, I know it wasn't you. Like, you know, you're good with your dogs and your cats or whatever. And he's like, and we don't, it's not me or whatever. Like, we're good with our dogs. And in my head, I'm thinking, no, you're not. The building was on fire and you left your dog in there. And then when they let people in to get their dogs so they can take them somewhere safe, you left your dog in there. And when no one was allowed in the building ever, for a day or two, you left your dog in there. You're a garbage person and I hate you. So garbage person was standing there with a broom. So, you know, when somebody's got a broom, you assume it's a certain kind of mess that they're cleaning up. A sweep-worthy mess. And I remembered that just the day before, or the night before, maybe it was earlier that day, don't remember. Either way, no, it was the night before, I could hear like a commotion outside, some banging, some rustling, and sometimes that kind of sounds like, oh, is there somebody banging on my door? And I just opened the door. I usually look out the people, and for some reason I just opened the door, and there was a dude on a ladder, and then there's like a panel, like a plywood panel up on the not on the ceiling, but high up on the wall, and he was like kind of half in that hole in the wall, and I'm like, oh, cool, sorry. Thought somebody was banging on the door, and he's like, no, looked at me like, don't talk to me, like, all right, sorry, wall troll. And yeah, so stuff, like there was some insulation, there was like, you know, wood, he was cutting things, like there was a bit of a mess left, nothing crazy, and also hard to tell because, as we discussed last week, the new people that moved into the apartment that did burn down, and then that they rebuilt, they didn't move all of their stuff into the apartment, and it's in the hallway, and they put a shoe rack outside of the door, which is in front of a fire extinguisher. And again, we all only have so much space to work with, and I want everybody to do their best with what they have, and I don't want to be the guy that's like, you're taking up too much space in the hallway, people need to get through here, you can't have a bike and a shoe rack, and then around the corner next to my door, a shelf with more shoes on it and socks. Nope, you definitely take your socks into your apartment. Don't leave those in the hallway. Can't handle that. That's weird for me. Don't like it. And then bags and bags of shoes and clothes. Finish moving in to your apartment, or take this stuff to a second-hand place. Eventually, somebody who owns the building will yell at you because this is a fire hazard. You're blocking the fire hydrant. Fire hydrant? Fire extinguisher. But whatever. That's a side rant. Side rant. So, I speak up, and I've got my sunglasses on already, so everything is a little bit darker, a little bit shadier, because I have the intention of going outside in 2 seconds. And, hallway sucks, what you gonna do? Hallway sucks, always smelling at you. No, that's no good, and I don't even care. Hallway sucks, probably got some pubic hair. So I'm just like, oh yeah, it was like there was a guy like up in the ceiling yesterday, so it's like then he was making a mess. And they looked at me like I was crazy, and they were like, what? A guy in the ceiling? And I was like, well, not in the ceiling, but like in that, panel there or whatever, like doing something like electrical or whatever. Like, so yeah, I was like pulling like some insulation and cutting and whatever. So yeah, he made a bit of a mess, and I'm sure he just left whatever that is. I thought it was like just a piece of black insulating foam. And they looked at me like I was crazy and said something about a dog again. And they were like, a guy? Like the guy in the roof did this? It was just like, what are we talking about? And they were like, no, like, this was a dog. And I'm just like, this was a dog? So I lifted up my sunglasses and I leaned down slightly and I said, oh, that's a shit. There's a shit on the floor. Yep, that's definitely got to be a dog shit. What? I was like, well, whatever. Like, odds are, I assume it has to be from upstairs because it's in front of the stairs coming from upstairs. So there might be more of a trail of turds because he was like, it's not just here. Like, it's all down the stairway too. Like, because just past the new people's shoe rack and bicycle is the doorway to the outside stairway, and he had either opened it or it was opened. So as I passed there, I could see there was just little plops, little solid turds all the way, just a bunch of them, as if like, well, they were like, I can't believe this. Like, who could have done this? Like, it wasn't us two. So who else could it be? Like, I don't know. Maybe it was the person that lives 2 floors down in the basement came up here to let their dog have a poop all the way back down the stairs. No, it was obviously the lady upstairs who was always yelling at her dog and her son and hates everything, and I hate her. Obviously it's her. I didn't say anything because the lady across the hall was silently going, like, yeah, obviously it was them. But still, I don't have any pets, so I don't care. So their concern was, or at least old drunk guy's concern, and everybody's concern in this building is always, oh my god, like, well, if the landlord sees that, I'm gonna clean it up, because if the landlord sees it, he's gonna blame all of us. Yeah, he should. There's always just dog and cat hair in the hallways. There's always just spilled cat litter here and there. None of you are good at this. None of you are good at owning animals. So, yeah, you should be blamed a little bit. And if this was a non-pet building, it wouldn't ruin my life at all. But, again, like, the lady across the hall is super nice, and she is great about her dog and cat. So I'm like, I wouldn't want her to her day to be ruined by having the animals kicked out or whatever, and that would basically kill her. or she'd have to move. And yeah, those guys are pretty quiet. But yeah, the drunk guy's just so concerned, like, oh my god, we're gonna get in trouble. And all I can think is like, guy, like, you're 50 something years old. Why are you still so concerned? Like, what world do we live in that you're giving so much power to this landlord to, like, just judge, like, either go upstairs and be the, hey, don't ruin this for all of us, or accept that, yeah, if somebody takes a dump on the floor, there's going to be a note on the wall that says, guys, you got to clean up after your animals, or else no more animals. Like, that's ooh, I can't think of the big word I want to use. I can only think that's the arboretum. This is not the place where birds and trees are kept. That is ultimatum. There we go. That's the ultimatum. And it's not the first time. It's been several times. But regardless, trying to be somewhat positive and not hate everybody. And the fact that it was just a trail of poop that was just like, this dog was definitely pooping while it walked. And I'm going to assume they were in a hurry. Because most people seem to be cleaning up after their animals for the longest time. So I try to instill some, hey, before you go to war and hate everybody, there's a chance. There's a chance, Pat, that they were hurriedly taking their dog to the vet because something was going on and it was dropping turds behind them. Maybe they didn't notice. Maybe it was just like, no, this is go time. We have to get him there. Something's terrible. We'll deal with it when we get home. Maybe it won't take forever. Who knows? Who knows? So, and yeah, even if Milo has been poop sleepwalking, how dare you? How dare you both suggest that? No, no, I would never. I would never. If I poop somewhere, it's on purpose. It's to make a point, and that point is, you deserve this, and I hate you. Yes, I know, you're a monster. But yeah, so I have to assume that yeah, it was a dire straits type of issue that nobody's gonna leave that many poops behind. Like, it was just too many. It was too many. But they were, nice solid poops that, dude thought it was fine to sweep up. Even though I'm just like, I hope that when I finish walking out of this building, after you sweep up the poop, you're also gonna, like, spray something, right? You can't just sweep up poop. That's just gonna spread poop everywhere. And you know where that poop is getting spread to? The socks of the people who are leaving their socks outside the door. That's just a fact. Those people have poop on their feet now. And not even on their socks. Probably just on their actual feet. That's how I do that math. But again, I'm a crazy person who stood in line with tiny doll clothes so that I could turn a conquistador puppet into a Freddie Mercury. And that's the story of the mystery poop, because this building just keeps on giving. Hey, how's your day going? Pretty slow? Pretty quiet? Yeah. Well, guess what? How about something weird, like as close as in the hallway? Fine. Fine. Of course, meanwhile, I'm the something weird. Not even as far as the hallway. Because at work, to very quickly, before I wrap up in 15 minutes, this is still puppet related. But, I mentioned I've been trying to, like, get this one project done at work forever. And the person is still just like, that's real close. Oh, yeah, we're getting it. Perfect. All right, now let's just do something different. Like, what now? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I don't actually care. It just does get a little bit tiring when you're like, well, I'm running out of ideas for this one person. Like, I keep doing all the different things. I can only second guess myself so much. This is giving me anxiety. Before the end of the day, I did what I thought was an awesome logo. I still think that, and Matt thinks that. He was like, this is dope. And I'm like, that word means cool, awesome. Because I'm also super impressed with it. But let's see what happens, because we are not the client. Only way to find out if this is cool is for them to say this is cool. So I added something along the lines of, hey, do they not know that I'm pretty cool and awesome? That they kind of should just be like, wow, I have some original Curtis art over here. I should be very proud to have this. Not, I'm just some service artist that does your art service work. You know, I'm a special boy. A special boy over here that makes the special artwork. I'm the special boy. You're just some guy that makes artwork. And anyway, to solidify my specialness, just like, does she not know how cool I am? Because last night I took it upon myself to modify a conquistador puppet into a Freddie Mercury puppet, so I'm pretty cool. And Matt was like, yeah, no. Let's unpack, why do you have an old conquistador puppet, first of all, before we get into turning it into a Freddie Mercury? And I was just like, what? Like, oh, I don't know. I know that I paid for it. Pretty sure it was my idea to buy it. But yeah, other than it must have been on sale, and I had an idea that went with that thing at the time, and then by the time I got home, that idea seemed stupid, or I just never got around to it. And he laughed and laughed and laughed, because I'm crazy. And I'm fine with Matt knowing that I'm crazy. That's today's work antidote, work anecdote. I definitely had something else work related that I wanted to say about, like, just making art for people, but I forget what that is, or it was just too mean and angry. Cause you're a strange animal, that's what I know. Got to follow, and then some other words. Oops. And that's it. That's all I've got to talk about for this week. 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. Yeah, 2-hour stream. That's pretty good. Pretty good stream length, I think. Nobody has attention spans for more than that. But yeah, so hopefully this week I will do a handful of more things, stream-ish related, creativity, making stuff related. As I wrote it on my wall, so I have to do it, right? Although some of the things written on the wall are yoga and exercise, and I somehow managed to not have to do those. But go for a walk is within that list, and I did that, so that still counts. And that list is Thursday game stream, and start doing what Fox said, and cropping out some. Ooh, I wrote it down. Where did I write it? Did I write it up there? Oh, I did. Edit out some Mr. Kerr tirades. So, you know, some of the things I'll have to. That's the other thing. It was like I keep wanting to do it, but I'm like, ugh, it just feels so insane to take the time to sit and watch myself talk for 2 hours and then try on my own to just be like, Biscuit. That was my other highlight of the week. Speaking of work stories, one of the things at Streamlabs is this thing called Onyx Prime. I don't really know much. I'm not the business person at the studio. I draw stuff and make things, and one of the tiers within the Prime program is Onyx Prime, and Biscuits over there used his Onyx Prime powers to order some custom artwork. So I got to draw some cats and dogs for Biscuits there this week. And not only was it fun, I always like doing some pet stuff, animating, creating little animals. Oh, really? You like animating, creating a little animal? Is that something that you like to do? No, we had no idea. Nobody here. Anybody? Let's take a survey. Anybody have any idea if this guy is like all about making little animal characters or something? Ted? Ted, you got any thoughts on that?
Oh, hey, bro. Yeah, I have some thoughts. Are they... I wasn't paying attention, guys. Honestly, I was still thinking about which type of surfing wax is the best surfing wax to wax my surfboard with. Because I'm an avid server. Server? Server, I mean. You know what I'm talking about, guys.
Meow. 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 Exactly, Ripley. Exactly. They're all overreacting. It's just a thing. It's just a thing. All right. Sometimes I stop motion stuff. And yeah. So that little peeking cat. That's one of the emotes that I did. I did some emotes and a alert animation for him. And it's fairly rare that when I do some art for people, they actually say like, "Oh my God, this is great. I love it. Thank you so much." And Biscuit was just kind of went up to me above and beyond in the thank yous. I was just very impressed with how impressed he was, and yeah, made me feel real good during the work week. And there's all the emotes I did for him. His evil cat, his happy dog, space cat. Good time. Good time. But it is just about 10:30, and my hand is starting to give out. It's getting hard to draw a straight line now. Because in trying to come up with that logo that I was very proud of today, I had to just kept sketching and sketching and sketching until I could come up with something. And yeah, my hand is like literally shaking at this point. Hilarious. But yeah. As the numbers go up and people start to watch, it's too late. I always for everything. I'm 1,000 years old, Biscuits, and this dog has a hard time learning new tricks. But I do everything in Adobe Animate, like everything. I'm talking like if I'm doing like a Word document type thing, sometimes I still do it in Adobe Animate. Photoshoppy type things, I still do in Adobe Animate and try to avoid Photoshop, or I try to avoid Illustrator like the plague. Even though I should love Illustrator, it's just too slow and too cumbersome compared to Animate. Oh, everything's just so much faster. But I do still use Photoshop and Illustrator when I have to. But yeah, for the most part, Adobe Animate, that I still call Flash. Because I'm 100. And then on the iPad, I just started trying the Ibis Paint, I think it is. Um, I have yet to try Procreate, even though I know that that is amazing. Yeah, no, I definitely paid for Illustrator for quite a few years before I actually installed it. Oh, wow. The fact that you have a tablet at all is amazing. Op Becklast? I don't know how to pronounce that. Oh, Op Beckfast. A Beckfist? O.P. Beckfist. O.P. Beckfist. It's the breakfast you crave. But yeah, same here. The first time I used Illustrator, I loved it. I was so impressed with it. I was just like, this is amazing, especially with a Wacom tablet. Um, it was a treat. But now it's all, I feel like you need to know, instead of like, I'm just going to draw a thing, and it's like, well, now how do I cut through this thing and merge it with this thing and do this other whatever? I'm just like, I don't like the way the layers are set up. I just find it irritating. But I find Animate is just like the straightforward version of Illustrator, where it's like instead of having to deal with all the splines and all the whatever, you can just draw it. Especially if you have a tablet, you get a nice vector line that you can pull and move around, and you can still turn on the splines if you want. Um, and as far as like the layers and whatever and merging, it's just as easy as copy and paste over here. And now it has like all kinds of stuff you can do with like filters. So it can do some super amazing stuff now. The masking isn't as powerful as it used to be. I used to do some awesome, amazing effects. That people would be like, oh my god, are you using After Effects? And I'd be like, no, I just pay for After Effects. I've never opened it. I think I might have installed it. It's too complicated. I haven't taken the 15 minutes to watch a video on how to use it to be able to use it effectively. So I just manually create all of my effects in Animate, and that also makes me feel, more magical, better. The same as like I don't want to just go buy a puppet and use it, but I will buy a puppet, modify it, and then make even just literally an Instagram video. It doesn't matter, but I personally feel much better about things if I do create it all myself. Last week I finally used some video effects. Yeah, I think once about, I don't know, 9 years ago, I opened After Effects, used it to convert a file to something else, to resave a movie file, and that's about it. Watched some people use it, thought that's amazing. I should do that. But I think first I'm going to try and learn some Blender, make some 3D things, and I don't know, possibly do something 3D with this jerk. Oh no, I will always be two-dimensional. How dare you? I will not enter the third dimension. That'll make me look fat. It'll make me look fat and round, and my squareness will be, oh, I just can't even imagine. It'll be weird. It'll be weird and wrong, I know. But I don't know. Just for practice sake. And then, yeah, so now I mostly just use Media Encoder for everything. And managed to very narrowly sidestep having to learn After Effects. Because, yeah, Media Encoder got real good real fast. Because for a minute, it was slightly useless to me. Then, I got a plug in. Have a good night, Space Goonie. Talk at you next week. And it's 10:30. I've got a bunch of work to do in the morning, and I'm too tired to draw, and it's still warm in here. The ice pack that's on my back is warming up. Fan is only doing so much, and this one drawing glove is seriously, it's all warm. Barely drank any of my water. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks to everybody. OP Beckfist, Miles. Oh man, so surprising, so great to have you hanging out. Been so long. And Co Biscuits, again, thanks a lot for the kind words. You genuinely made my day or week. And yeah, when your next request comes around, I will do my best to jump on top of it before anybody else. Slash, you know, I'm usually the one that checks that list, so I'll be the one assigning it to myself. So it should be fine. Avocado Shakes, Mr. Drake, happy anniversary. That's also an amazing thing to me whenever somebody's like, it's been 6 or 7 years of a thing, and I'm just like, what? Don't you mean like 5 months? Don't you mean we've been locked up for 2 years? Like, oh yeah, lots of time has passed. But yeah, happy anniversary, happy birthdays, happy whatevers to everybody. And yeah, that's about it. Don't forget, at Mr. Cartoons on Instagram and Twitter. All the updates are there for when the streams will happen, and the finished comics go there, as well as little puppet shows, little cartoons, little comics, little drawings, bunch of nonsense. Sometimes I write silly things. Don't draw a picture at all. And there it goes. And of course, I make books, all available at MrCartoons.com, and t-shirts with Milo, and that mug is a thing. And it's also on shirts and whatnot. I think that's it. Ripley. Meow. 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 Yep. Let's go to the credits. And I think that's all for this week. Like I said, always thank you always for hanging out. And if you followed me this week, you have to come back next week. That's just the rule. I don't make the rules. I just follow them. So, you know, I wish I could. I wish I could make the rules. I wish I could change them, but I can't. I make the rules, and I will enforce them. Where's our rated? Oh my god, that guy. He's always yelling that same stuff. Get some new material. We're tired of you. Ripley, play those sweet end credits. I say when you don't do that. No, I do the things as well. I decide who lives or dies. Look at my wingspan for once. No, you don't have a wingspan. You can't. No, the music's playing. Follow, share, and subscribe. Please and thank you. Beat drops. It's a fun time. I'm not at all sing along with this beat. Looking for the end stream button, but I'm on the wrong screen. I'm gonna press it now. Yeah, you know what I mean. See you next week.